Welcome to Sounding Board, Eep's attempt at sober idea generation. I'm Caleb the Quick. With me tonight is Surrealism and our Codenomancer, Thor. How you doing tonight, Thor?
Good, although it's a bit late to say sober.
What? Dude, we told you, we talked about this for like a week. We were going to try to come up with something new, like normal people.
And normal people don't drink?
Not on a Friday night.
Hey, give him a break. He's still trying to reach the Volmer Peak.
It's a myth, okay? It's not even real.
All right. Let's get started here.
All right. I think it's my turn to go.
Yeah.
Lay it on me. What are we doing? I'm ready.
All right. So I want you to just belt out an idea for a tabletop game module.
All right. Module. All right. What do you mean by module in this specific instance?
All right. I'm talking like either an entire campaign or just one chapter of it if you feel like you can describe one chapter of a thing in a way that's meaningful.
Oh, I can. That's all I do.
You can also just do an entire thing.
I may.
All right. So
All right. So
what are we looking at?
All right. Give me Thor. Give me a setting.
A setting.
Like just general time period.
General time period. Actually, let's try something different and try a bit more like Renaissance.
Fuck.
All right. That doesn't seem to be going over. How about 1900?
That's still the Renaissance.
Well, no, that's more Victorian?
Listen, I did not pass history at all. All right, so we got it. Renaissance. Renaissance is cool. That's like Three Musketeers. It's like France, Man in the Iron Mask. Good. It's in my bed.
That's when firearms are beginning to get into use.
Yes, that is actually the only reason I know about that time.
Yeah,
period.
but they're still a little depressing.
Yeah.
It's about right for a fantasy setting.
Basically, to make it useful, you'd have to get everyone in a line.
Yeah.
Mostly just an apparatus you can use to start an avalanche in the right setting.
Then it's a pretty good club. All right. Surrealism. What rule set are we using? What are we doing?
All right. Well, I'm tempted to say Shadowrun just because fuck you, Renaissance Shadowrun.
Okay. No, it's happening.
No, it's too bad. All right.
Is it too bad? No, it's not bad.
I do not allow hackers. I'm not going to allow.
Oh, no.
Temporary with Da Vinci.
Well, no, you have a potential there because remember, in the Shadowrun setting, magic was cyclical. And so we could actually be in the ending period of the magic.
No, screw that. I got it. I know what I'm doing. We are going to do it in the Renaissance. You're in France. You're one of the Musketeers. Kind of. We're using the Shadowrun rules. Fuck the entire setting. Throw it out the window. All right?
All right. So can we just ditch all the cyber part and just use the magic part?
No. It's the other way around.
What?
Yeah. It's just the cyber parts. In Renaissance France.
So steampunk?
No, it's not. There's no steam. They have electronics.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the pin back in this
No,
one.
you don't put the pin back in the grenade.
It's going back in it.
No.
We're talking second edition D&D.
You already let the spoon go.
There was no spoon.
You're a spoon. You don't even know how grenades work. Damn it. Okay.
Right. I guess I wasn't through the Army's training where you learn how to put the spoon back in the grenade.
You don't put it back in the grenade. It's on the grenade. That's the little lever thing that flies off it, and then that's
actually when you should have it.
All right, I underestimated you. I did not think there was actually a spoon on a grenade.
There's always a spoon.
Hang on.
Except in the
verifying that this is true.
Yeah, that's right. Fact check.
That's right. I've got Google right here.
You son of a bitch! I told you not to call that guy.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, pull pin throw, baby. All right, so second edition D&D. That's good. That was actually my first edition, so we're good to go there. Second edition, people die a lot. All right, so Renaissance setting.
Yeah, you definitely need to allow for the introduction of new characters rapidly. So being part of the Musketeers actually makes it pretty damn easy on the GM.
Yeah.
You are the new Musketeer they sent to replace the guy who got eaten by trolls.
You're in the 30 Musketeer or 30 pre-Musketeers.
Well, they only have 3 at a time. It gives them power.
Yeah. All right. So I kind of wanted to eschew like the whole it's France thing because they're like there's a whole rest of Europe at the time, and what are they doing? What are they doing in this time period?
I have not a damn clue.
Neither do I. So we're gonna make shit up. All right. So you're one of the Germanic states, right? And you're like, so you're in there, and you got to. So you're going to start off the campaign with all your dudes. And so the big story is that like whoever the little prince is or whatever who's in charge of the Germanic state is like, man, I am sick and tired of my tiny little Germanic state. And he like, all right, so
Wait, is this going to become a Kingmaker game?
it might. I was gonna go. They
Right,
have like
printing press was Germany.
Maybe
Gutenberg Bible.
Gutenberg could be anywhere.
I'm looking at the German Renaissance Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Because if we're going to be doing this at computers, I'm taking advantage of it.
You son of a bitch. I'm opening it a tab too. Two can
Damn
play
right.
this game. I just do a quick Google search. Kick-ass game ideas.
Oh, you could do something with the Protestant Reformation.
Maybe.
Like you're a bunch of paladins who are rebelling against the church.
Ooh, yeah. What if?
Oh, that would be good.
That's a pretty good guess. So what if you have like a? Yeah, so it's during the schism, the Protestant Reformation.
Or at the very least, make that a plot hook. You could be working for one side of the Great Schism.
Yeah. So what if like
Wait, that's not the Great Schism.
You're the Great Schism.
One side of the Protestant Reformation, either working with the rebels or the Catholics.
Yeah. All right. So it starts off, the first like set of the module is you're sent out by whoever your local lord is. So you're not yet dealing with like the actual leader of your Germanic state, right?
Question.
Okay.
All right, are we going to try and make a realistic area and like look up the names of the lords and whatever information is available, or are we going to make up a fake Germanic state and that way get out of doing a lot of research?
I like the second option because you said get out of doing a lot of research. And that speaks
We'll
to me.
still have to do a little because you'll interact with other states.
Well, one thing you can also do is just, make this a fantasy setting where you can actually have elves and stuff. So it doesn't have to be Europe itself. It could be something
It could just be
similar.
Thinly veiled Europe.
Yes,
you've tripped my trap card. I was just going to go on and like keep doing it and say, and then it's not actually Europe.
All right, can the elves be Russia?
No.
Because I think an elf in a Ushanka sounds amazing.
That does sound amazing. The Usanka is inherently fluffy, which speaks to the elves.
So are we on the same page here?
No, dude. The elves are too thin. How do they survive in the cold?
All right, dwarves it is.
Yeah, I was going to say dwarves in the northern bits.
Pretty much anywhere it's cold. See, they're
All
more
right,
squat.
Mediterranean. Elves are Mediterranean.
I can see it. I can't
I can see
unsee it.
Although they're more tan and have curlier hair.
Yeah, it's not a huge stretch. I mean, the wild elves already look like that in D&D
Yeah.
setting.
Wait, so the
Or
wild
dragon
elves
setting.
are the Greeks?
Well, the wild elves would be just different regions. I mean, you've got I don't know. You've got the high elves, which are Athens, I guess, and then the wild elves would be all the little city states no one remembers because they're not Athens or Sparta.
Yeah. All right. So back to our topic. You are from a not Germany analog in generic fantasy world 7B.
Got it.
And so yeah, there's all the different states. All the different states. They're kind of as unified as Germany was back in the day. So nobody really screws with them. Otherwise, all the states will like rise up and fight together, and kick you out.
Basically, it's leave them alone. They'll fight each other.
Yeah.
Nobody messes with my neighboring city-state but me.
Yeah. That kind of thing. And then Prussia conquered everything. It's a terrible story.
Shut up.
Don't like to talk
No
about
politics.
that. All right. And so, damn, that starts out. God, so what should be the first mission? So there's. I haven't played a lot of like actual complete modules. Usually when I play tabletop games, it's all about as off the cuff as this, from what I understand. So let's see.
Yeah, we tend to take things off the rails, so it doesn't work for us, but still.
Well, and I've been running a Neverwinter campaign in 4th edition, and it just gives setting details. There's no like overarching plot other than here's a bunch of hooks you can use for your own story.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a little experience with actual modules, and generally they work by having the area where the party they have setting details, but then they have the party starts out here, and here are the plot hooks, and here are the bits of information the plot hooks have. These are the DCs associated with extracting information from them, here's their stat block in case the party decides to fight a god.
Oh wow, this is all nines.
Yeah.
He really is. He truly is the Lord of Nines.
Well, he's the Lord of Mediocrity.
Ah.
So,
All right. So yeah, starting area. Got to start with something simple, something
Right, so
like, hey,
what's the first plot hook they get interacted with, or do they start the game with a mission?
no.
Actually,
It's going to start classic style. It's second edition. Okay, we got to keep it classic. They're in a tavern, and so normally you go to the tavern, you like listen and try to hear for things, but no,
Oh, is that where they meet their spy contact?
no, maybe.
well,
Shut up.
actually, if you want to have a situation full of strife, it could be in a bar in one of the Germanic mini-states, city-states, and it hasn't been that long since the analog to Martin Luther posted up his criticisms of the main
90-something
church.
theses.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to completely forget about all of that right now because I'm going to talk.
Are we
So-
forgetting the religious angle?
No. So it starts off simple. That's how all the good stories start. They start like when you start a good story, it looks like it's simple, looks like it's a monster of the week, but then it's not, and it's cool. So
Okay.
you start off. They go to the tavern because, of course, they do. They're traveling adventurers. Now they start asking around for rumors and stuff, but there really isn't a lot going on because the Germanic states, they've got their shit on lockdown right now. So all the rumors they get for oh, anybody needs a helping hand, it's like, oh yes, Sir Joe or whatever needs help plowing his field or something. They get a bunch of tips for boring ass shit. But then a runner comes in. So this will be like the big plot hook is a runner comes in from the local lord, not like the prince or whatever yet. So a local lord sends a runner, says, hey, and the runner has a message is for just anybody at the tavern. He's like, hey, I need some people really quick. We're setting together a posse, that kind of thing. So we're
Right.
we need some dudes.
Message for anyone armed. You are part of this posse now.
You are now part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. What?
All right. So
Drafted by the wrong guy for the wrong cause.
I'm going to pitch something to you. It deviates from what you just said pretty substantially.
All right.
All right, so let's say we throw out the religious angle.
Yeah, I like it.
And we throw out the traveling adventurer bit.
What?
Yeah, all right. So what if this is a campaign where you're supposed to start at level 1 so we don't have to rationalize the existence of adventurers?
Yeah.
And this opens on it starts in a bar like every great adventure, but it opens on a bar fight, and only in the aftermath do you find out what it was about. It was a bunch of supporters of the invading force from Prussia, talking shit. And if you interrogate them and find out what they're doing in your town, you find out that the army is actually headed this way. So this is the campaign would be you fighting a resistance against the unification of Germany.
That's
That's
interesting.
an hook.
Yeah, no, that could work. Because I was honestly just going to kind of try and propose a simple, oh, the Lord needs help. There's skeletons or whatever in the family tomb. Loot it and don't steal all the shit in the family tomb. Which you're going to steal all the shit in the family tomb. That's how. I don't know if you've played Morrowind.
Depends on whether your paladin has a good spot check.
Yeah, that's true. You ever played Morrowind? That family tomb's getting raided.
Yeah, but in D&D, someone would actually care.
Maybe if the DM remembers.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was just going to be a simple, hey, you've made your characters. Here's some cannon fodder for you to fight. You fight a single kobold. The near total party wipe.
Yeah, well, it's one kobold underground with who knows how long to prepare. I mean, that tomb is trapped to hell and gone.
Yeah. Some would say that the tomb itself was a trap.
Okay. How about this?
Yeah.
So you get sent into the tomb because this is 2nd edition, and ghosts are horribly lethal, and they assume when they hear noise coming from the tomb, it's going to be ghosts.
Yeah. All right.
It's actually just a kobold looting the place.
Yeah, and he's really excited. So he's like, yeah!
Yeah, and
Whoa!
so you come out of there, and they think you killed a ghost.
Oh,
Which
yes.
means you are getting all the hard missions from this lord from now on.
Oh, shit.
But in reality, you killed one very enthusiastic kobold
Yeah,
who had, in fairness, built a lot of traps. So,
Yeah.
it's not like it was easy for you.
then there were skeletons there. It was a family tomb. So, it's just kind of, it happens naturally.
Yeah, no, I mean, you decide to renovate your grandfather's old bedroom, and he gets up and gives you what for?
Yeah, just like when he was alive. Honestly,
Yeah.
he might still be alive and just looks like a skeleton.
I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. All right. So I liked your thing about the tavern. So I'm thinking like after you do the beginning training wheels mission, ish, then you come back and then the bar fight breaks out as you party hard.
All right, so basically we do a shakedown mission to make sure the party all knows how initiative works.
Yeah, you all gotta have a good. You always have to have a good shakedown mission.
Also to get an intro of, this is your lord and he likes you, so you have a vested interest in siding with him.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. He helped you out. He didn't.
He paid you for that thing you did.
Yeah, didn't.
Which is more than you can expect from a lot of nobles. And you'll
Didn't-
know that if you have a knowledge nobility check.
Didn't actually do a pat down after you got out of the tomb. Cool guy.
I really like how he didn't check whether I'd stolen stuff from him.
This guy's cool. I like him. All right. So yeah, that's the big first thing. Then a fight breaks out, not with like military force, but at the bar. Now this is with Prussia analog or the up and comer.
Right. A
So
bunch of people, I don't know, saying that Prince so-and-so's claim to the throne of all not Germany is legitimate. Because everyone who unifies a bunch of warring city-states obviously has a claim to a civilization, or the throne of a civilization long past. Am I right?
yeah. All right. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like your little city state, which I will come up with a random name using random name generator. Huh. Random name.
Holy shit, there is a fantasy country name generator.
Oh man. All right. Oh, German is an option. Cool.
Freisau.
Freisau. Okay, Freisau. See, so that's free something. It's free cow. I like it. We're from Free Cow, and we're about to freak out. Please stop saying that pun. It's responsible for most of the warring. So Freicow. So you're from Freicow. No one would ever consider Freicow to be like the big heavy hitter in anything. Like you don't go unnoticed when people are talking about, oh yeah, and then Freicow. So you're not North Dakota. You're not that bad. But you're not Austria. You're not Prussia. And the big thing is, there's a big fight that's been brewing between Austria and Prussia, and they're about to start doing this whole like, who's going to side with me? Who's going to side with the enemy? Are you with me or are you against me? And so that's why these guys are here in the tavern trying to rile that all up. They're trying to like, hey man, this is this province you guys are with Prince such and such, right? Or Prince not Prussia, not that stupid guy from friggin' Austria, right? And so nobody gave a shit at that tavern, and that's why the fight broke out.
A failed false flag, and so it's just like, okay, you know what? We're just going to make this work now.
You know what? This entire place is made out of wood. It's going down. Yes.
I mean, burning down a bar is like the number way to start a war. So,
Yeah, I believe that's how the American Civil War started.
or at the very least, the revolution.
The bar burning that resounded throughout, not Germany.
Not German.
Freisau.
They take their beer very seriously.
Oh, that's what they do. Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, that'll be it. Freisau was known for beer. So all the rest of non-Germany was not known for beer. But Freisau was.
Oh, no. And this is how the war gets started. They burn down a brewery.
Those sons of bitches.
So the
famous
fire
brewery.
spreads to the brewery next to the bar.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
like,
no, it was a bar for the brewery.
yeah, and like everyone else, like just doesn't like from other they hear the story, like people telling it. Oh, it was fires so hot that it melted the copper of the stills or the brewery, and people are like, what? Why would? Who cares? Like, no, you don't understand, guys. You haven't tried the beer, and now you can't.
I'm I don't know. Did they have breweries independent of taverns back then, or is it just understood that anywhere that serves liquor makes it?
Pretty sure they're independent,
All right.
but
I might have to look into the history of brewing to make this work.
whatever. It's a fantasy thing. And like I know they made alcohol at places where it was not served, so there's that. So yeah, Freisau takes its alcohol seriously, and this is like big cardinal sin. It's such a cardinal sin. Cardinals are actually defenestrated because of it, completely thrown out the window.
I mean, it doesn't really like hurt them, but they mind.
The entire roadway.
Wait, do you mean religious cardinals or birds?
Both?
Okay. Well, if they're a cardinal, they can cast fly.
Yeah, obviously. Polymorph. Any object. I'm an object. Right. So we've got a little bit of a spark, right? So something's been kicked off here, and we have Freisau caught in between not Prussia and not Austria because they're the big heavy hitters for the Germanic for the not German states.
All right. To avoid being like a bunch of other games where, one little city-state's caught between two major powers, can we have a few other city-states in the buffer zone?
Oh yeah,
You
no,
could
there's
get sent on you could get sent on a mission to escort a diplomat trying to secure the an alliance with the other little city-states, and then you can get into espionage with the two empires that are trying to scoop them up.
yeah, that could work.
Yeah,
I like.
you could also potentially have missions where you try and subvert one nation state or one city state, like potentially going over to the other side.
Oh, you could get sent. Your second mission could be a false flag.
Just
your
like the
job
one
is to
that
dress up
started.
like not Prussia and go burn something down, or like go burn a church in the city-state to your north.
Yeah, the first mission for that type of thing should be go burn down their brewery, but then like literally nothing happens because of it.
Or,
Mysterious brewery fire started last night.
no, I mean it's up to the character to decide exactly what they burn.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
If they really fail their knowledge check, they might think a brewery is the best target.
No one gives a shit about beer here. I don't understand how.
I've had their beer. It makes perfect sense.
That's the bard.
That's a bardic knowledge check for you.
Nice. All right. So we need a little bit more of the element of the fantastical. So I'm going to go with something is forcing Prussia, or not Prussia, and not Austria to like to mess shit up. Because normally Germany would be aligned because of all the external strife, but maybe there's just not a lot of external strife at the moment.
Yeah, maybe whoever they usually are fighting with is getting attacked by a dragon or something. Like that happens.
Yeah.
Alternatively, if you want to do fantasy, or if you wanted to add a fantasy element, I guess you could add a fantasy elephant. You could say that the lord of whichever nation is attacking because there's a prophecy that he will win.
Okay.
Or he interpreted it as
It's just
he would win.
maybe that's
he
the
has an
magic is.
oracle who is trying to start a war.
Maybe there's like all right. So just hear me out for this one. Think about a just kind of wandering caravan of the vagrant peoples of whichever type would be suitable, and there's just an oracle that just keeps handing out prophecies, and like she hands out a lot of them, and they're really mundane, but they all keep coming true, like that kind of thing. Like you're gonna find your love next Thursday at 2:30 in the afternoon. What's at 2:30 in the afternoon? Oh, you'll find out.
2.5 drinks deep later.
Woo! But yeah, little things like that, and then like one of the lords went down there and tried to get a prophecy, and so either got a prophecy or a seeing or whatever, good old fashioned tarot card reading, and either misinterpret it, or like it didn't work out, or they just got somebody who was pretending to be that vagrant to get money. And so they told the prince that, oh yes, if you lead your forces into battle, surely you will succeed. It's like, oh wait, shit, really? This is the lady, right? This is the one with all the good prophecies? Man, I have got to conquer something.
Or like, if I tell him he's going to fail horribly, he'll kill me. He'll win!
Yay!
But only if you let me go!
Strange. A
But
prophecy
you
with
could also add some
contingencies.
actual malice to it. I mean, you could have an oracle working for the throne, right? Only it's a cleric of an evil god of war pretending to be a cleric of something else.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, and maybe they word it in such a vague generality using very metaphorical wording that is just like, are we the bear or the wolf in this scenario here?
Or it's actually just a lie.
That too.
I do like it when it's just a lie.
But it's a lie wrapped in generalities that, depending on how you interpret it, can go either way. So it's the best kind of lie.
It sounds vague enough to be a prophecy.
Wait, so this entire thing is just built on a foundation of generalizations and assumptions?
Yeah.
That's I think how most wars start.
Yeah, I like it. All right. I think we have
It's-
inadvertently become far more historically accurate than most things.
Okay, so end of the module is obviously you killing the evil cleric. Am I right?
Yeah, we can do that.
You off the Grand Vizier, um, or join them, I guess, if that's how you do.
Well, that's just how open-ended things like this have to be. That's the problem with making
I don't know.
modules, is
Most
it can go
modules are
anywhere.
pretty railroady, actually.
Yeah, but then you try and play it, and then they get off the rails, but you're still in the setting.
Yeah,
That's why I think
that's
the best.
why we don't use modules. I've
No, I
played
think
with groups where they
that's-
work just fine.
I think that's why the best kind of modules are the one that are most open-ended. Like I said with the Neverwinter, it's so open-ended. Like it only gives hooks. It doesn't tell you, oh, they enter town and they get jumped. No, there's nothing like that.
Yeah, so I
Okay,
suppose
so
that's
what
how
if
we're doing it here with the, because we all remember Skyrim, right? How that kind of worked out. You had the different little provinces. You had to go sway to either side of that rebellion, and then go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we could have a kind of little open-ended thing like that, but of course it would be a little bit more fun and engaging because you wouldn't just do the same mission over and over again. It would be
Oh, you could also have like some point in the middle, what you could consider the middle of the module, where the other side tries to bribe the party into their point of view.
assuming their party has generally been successful. That's
Yes.
the thing. I'm thinking. So the most organic way to railroad a campaign is to start the players off already working for someone, and then if you instead of giving a encounter by encounter instruction manual of how this progresses, you just say, all right, your boss gives you this mission, and then have a bunch of relevant details available for the GM of um, these resources exist and can be given to the party, and the enemy has these resources, and here are the preferred strategies of their nemesis.
yeah. And I like the way that generally would work. So we should probably keep it really big and open. And since I'm such a military history nerd, I know that this is actually like a German thing too. Is that they give their lower ranking commanders, like sergeants and corporals, and like really low level compared to other militaries, a lot of leeway to just do what they think is like the best in the situation. So we could do it like this. Like maybe your group is set up as just, they're like, hey, we need to spend all of our time just with our forces making sure our borders are secure. So we need you to go behind enemy lines and just start fucking shit up. Like either get people over onto our side or break their things or just, I guess, assassinate people in a way that does not incriminate us.
Create civil unrest.
Yeah, so maybe like the prince of your area does not he didn't ever expect to be a big shot. He knows beer and he knows cows, that kind of thing. And he's like, oh, dude, this war I do not understand. I'm going to go total defense because this is the only thing that I think we can
ride it
do.
out.
Yeah, but we need you. You people. You go all over the place. You're not renowned adventurers, but volunteers.
Well, you killed that ghost in my tomb.
Yeah, and that's better than the last 4 guys. Kobold killed 4 parties of people. God damn! I feel bad for killing it. We should have recruited him.
Well,
Okay.
there weren't as many traps as we would have thought with how long that kobold was in there.
Yeah, and he'd used up all of C4 and time travel juice.
All right, so essentially what we're doing is
Actually, right. There is gunpowder in this one because it's the Renaissance-y kind of Three Musketeers thing.
okay. So essentially what we're doing here is saying that giving us few simple or a chain of if then. So party kills the quote unquote ghost, and at which point the real campaign starts. The Lord gives them their first mission. Then if they succeed at it in the expected way, he does this. If they fail, he does this. If the mission goes entirely off the rails in a beneficial way, he probably does something like this.
Yeah. So
And
really, for our
gives
info here, we should have
and-
more about his personality and his likes and his motivations and stuff.
Well,
no, and
more
I
importantly-
actually just had another thought there, and that is, what if they run from the ghost? Like, maybe they took a lot of damage on one of their characters and are just like, okay, you know what, this is too high for us. Let's just Let's just go to a different area.
I got it. Kobold's gunpowder trap backfires, collapsing the tomb. They get credit.
Or they get trapped in, and I mean, they either win or they die.
That is a lot less fun.
Yeah, but I mean, at
At the
some
start
point you
of the
just have to
campaign.
say if the party doesn't succeed, they die.
Yeah, but I mean,
Or unless, or they do something really clever and get out anyway.
yeah, okay.
I mean,
Like maybe the explosion closes the main entrance, but opens up an entrance to like his bed chambers.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Something
mean,
silly.
so if I was the DM actually running that, I don't know, because I mean everybody kind of expects second edition to be more, you're gonna die, but still for the first encounter where you're really just making sure everybody knows how to roll initiative and stuff like that.
Yeah, it should be simple.
okay,
Yeah,
what if
but I do like the caving in thing and then other things, especially if because I usually try to tailor my encounters to the skills that I know my players have. So if one of them had like proficiency mining or something like that, or like I knew that they could use one of their skills to get out there, then I would bring that up.
Okay. So what if we do it like this? First trap is an explosive. Assuming they don't spot and disarm it, they are probably going to be sealed in the tomb with the kobold, right?
All right.
There is another exit that the kobold created. The kobold is between them and this exit, so they have to kill or bypass the kobold to get out of there. And if someone gets by the kobold, it will freak out and leave.
Yeah, that sounds like a kobold.
And then they can take credit for having killed the ghost.
Yeah. All right. Done.
All right. So this way, I mean, you have to control what the party does to some degree if you want to run a module successfully at all.
Yeah.
Just leave them enough open choices that they don't feel entirely railroaded.
Yeah. So if that happens, then the fight at the bar. Tons
Then
of
the bar
fun.
fight, then the first mission, which is probably something along the lines of either escort this diplomat to this place, if they... All right. If the party completed the kill the ghost mission without making a huge mess of the tomb, they get a escort diplomat to this location mission.
Yeah.
Because they are competent and don't cause a lot of trouble. If he goes down there and like half the tomb is blown to hell, he just says, all right, get out of my country and cause trouble for someone else. And if you succeed in that, I will pay you.
I see. I'm getting a feel for your guys' skills here.
Yeah. So depending on how they succeed at their missions or whether they succeed, they get different missions. But we'd have to steer it so that, we don't create too many diverging paths. For example, if they get sent on the bodyguard mission, they probably will end up meeting the same antagonists they would either way.
All right.
Yeah, creating merge points.
Yeah.
With the branching.
All right. So I think that's good, and we could for like the first third to maybe half of the module, we could really kind of harp on that as a pattern. Because like I said earlier, you kind of want to establish a little bit of a pattern, and then break it up a little bit at the end to shake things up. So you're going around like messing up other little states.
Destroy this village or make sure this village isn't working for the enemy.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it to you how you do that.
Whether you convert them or just generally disable them.
Yeah, or put a bunch of sap or a bunch of mining charges underneath them and drop them into the Underdark. Whatever.
Okay.
It's up to you.
Yeah. So that's it. So good for the beginning. I think we need a arc for the middle that kind of overlaps with the beginning, like third to a half, and then the final arc would obviously when you find out, it's this evil cleric is running around and being a douchebag, murder
Okay,
them.
So just to be clear, the first mission is either escort diplomat and then a couple of milk run, someone tries to kill him incidents, or go disrupt this village. It's just going to be a very simple encounter list.
Yeah.
For the first mission, and then we move on to the middle arc.
Well, there should be more than one first mission for
I don't know.
the arc. I mean, I kind of assume you're going to level a lot, so the first arc in my mind is like level 1 to 4.
Okay, so that's essentially book 1 of the module set.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Then I just need an idea of the scope we're looking at here. If you're trying to cram all of this into one book, then...
I like large books.
Yeah, but modules need to be much more concise than that.
Okay.
I mean, think about how long one encounter takes.
That's true. I suppose in this instance, it would be like, one book that has information on the setting, and then the individual, like, the Arc 1, Arc 2, Arc 3 kind of thing.
There are like two dungeons in an entire book.
And actually, what you could potentially do is just have a broad strokes. This is the overall campaign arc over the however many books there are, and this book covers this arc. So that way, if people want to do multiple, they can make up their own without having to get the others.
Yeah, okay.
So, or they can, if they, for example, want to skip one, they can just do a time skip and up the level.
Yeah, or if the party makes things go so off the rails, they have to kind of do their own thing, it at least would give the GM some idea of, okay, what was the overall arc here? Can I salvage anything?
What would have happened if the party didn't interfere?
Or what if the party defected?
All right, so here's what I got. We got the starting little training wheels dungeon, and then, so for the first arc, you'll have 2 missions to go to 2 different states and try to mess them up. So that'll be like the 2 dungeons.
Yeah, one might be a go to this town and mess them up mission. Alternatively, you might be a go to this city and protect this diplomat without creating an incident.
Yeah, well, we could include a bunch of different options there, using a lot of the same like maps and stuff, and other ancillary things that would contribute to that.
Oh, how about what if you go to the same town either way? It's go to this potential ally and either escort a diplomat or you're a false flag operation.
Yeah, or both.
Same town either way.
Yeah, no, that could work.
Or if they're incredibly competent, you tell them to do both. Escort this diplomat, and while he's there,
make
do
it
a false flag.
Party though.
While he's there, make an attempt on his life, but don't kill him.
Make a really bumbling attempt on his life so our enemies look stupid and malevolent.
I accidentally crit. Oh, I accidentally rolled multiple max damage. Oh no.
Then you go onto the fail. Then you move to the fail path.
No, then we sell our services to the other countries.
That's how I earned the Iron Cross.
Nice.
That's how we united Germany.
All right. So then, got that. Then the middle arc is when you're sent, I don't know, maybe you're sent with a diplomat to either Prussia or not Austria to try and figure out, maybe there's there's going to be a peace summit. So, big thing happens at a peace summit. And then after that, you go to either of the city, which I'm trying to think of ways to integrate the final arc. So, yeah, so I think that'd be interesting. Peace summit.
One thing you could do as from middle to end arc is you could try and do a prison rescue mission.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I mentioned Man in the Iron Mask earlier. That's got a good prison kind of,
Oh, rescue a pretender to Prussia's throne and, I don't know, help him take over in exchange for making him a vassal state of Freisau.
You know what? That's Eep's motto is just rip off everybody. Let's just one of the princes has a twin brother as he's in jail. Just
all right, yeah,
rip it all off.
But normally we rip off so many things it's not just theft at the same. So
instead of an Iron Mask, what are we gonna give him?
Well, we could, instead of making it a twin, we could make it a I don't know, cousin who could have a legitimate claim if you squint.
Ooh, no. So ripping off other things. But you have
to rip off enough at once.
Let me finish. Okay?
Right.
Ripping off other things. There was that old movie. Well, not old, really. It was about the King of Jerusalem, the Leper King. I don't remember his name, but you could have one of the princes of Austria or whatever be a Leper King. So they have a mask they wear all the time. So they're the one in the mask. So you have to find somebody with a similar voice.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. It's actually a fake.
Yeah, so it's a completely different guy. Maybe it turns out to be the bard in your party.
Right, this is not an easy campaign for good players.
Good. I'm tired of playing a good player. I just think we started talking about paladins and shit.
All right. So we just need to add a little annotation at the beginning of this module. This is not recommended for anyone who has alignment restrictions on their class.
Just put it next to the level recommendation. Level recommendations 1 to 4. Alignment evil. Evil.
Non-good, non-lawful. Well, actually, lawful is perfect.
Yeah.
You're following the law.
I mean, that said, if you do play this as a good character, then You just have extra challenges.
Yeah.
You need to find a morally acceptable way to deal with all these problems.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
good, and that's a fun thing to work into a lot of games.
Do you like it when evil is easier?
Yeah, I know, right? So yeah, could be one thing you could do to like, and so that's there needs to be a problem. There needs to be a reason why you would actually want to replace the king or whatever of one of these places, other than
Well,
the
he's
fact
trying
that
to start a war for one thing.
yeah, okay, so but then so how do we put in the hook for the next one? So the next one is that you find out about the roaming person either handing out false prophecies or somewhat real prophecies.
Or
I don't know,
you could go with the classic. The king is so old, he's becoming senile,
And
but
someone
no
else
one
is
has
actually doing
no one
missions.
dares depose him yet.
I do like leading a coup. It's one of my favorite things to do.
So you're a tiny city-state leading a coup in a much larger country that's being aggressive?
Nah. So take my leper king idea, change it to the leper prince, and you have to like. So his dad is like super old; he's gonna die at any moment. His son wears a mask all the time, but he's like super popular. Everybody loves him. Everybody knows that he's going to like, be a good successor, even though he's a filthy leper. But so your good option would be to just like actually befriend him, get him in there, or the
Get
evil
him
option.
cured.
Yeah, and the evil option is just to find someone with a similar voice, kill him, and put the mask on. So that streamlines it a little bit. I think it's good.
Yeah?
Pretty good what I do. So, right. So final arc, where we're dealing with a very powerful religious cult that is, I guess, co-opted some sort of caravan of vagrants.
All right, so we're merging the evil cleric and the wandering gypsy idea?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Don't have
How
too
about
much.
this?
I mean, there could be
Evil
other
cults.
vagrants.
Yeah, the evil cult is blackmailing the actual prophet to give the prophecies they want.
I like it. There needs to be more to that idea, though.
Well,
Thor, do you have
Gypsy is
anything?
a real prophet, has a good reputation, hasn't been causing trouble for anyone. The evil cult kidnapped the gypsy's relatives, and now the gypsy or the oracle has to give fake prophecies, or they will be killed.
You could also add into that maybe the king met them many years ago and befriended them, and the evil cleric caught wind of this,
Or the prince, I mean.
or the prince, whoever is the main antagonist, caught wind of this and is now blackmailing this
All right.
close friend of the king.
All right, I got an interesting idea. I don't know if we're gonna be able to incorporate it into this, but I think it's a good one. We might want to write it down, put a pin in it. So, remember the Oracle of Delphi? Like they was somewhat chosen and gave out prophecies, etc., etc. Remember that?
Yes?
Yeah.
So imagine like this group of vagrants, which we should come up with some cool name for, is like they have the same kind of thing. That's their religious leaders. Like, oh, it's the new one was born, and she'll have the silver tongue that tells us where to go, what to do, etc., etc. But this time it was born, and the child was possessed by a demon, and the religious cult knows that, and is using her to bring in more demons by handing out these false or not well, really false, but other prophecies.
Okay. How about this? The prophecies that the possessed oracle is giving out are if-then prophecies.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If you do this, then this will happen to you. But implicit in or maybe they're not if-then. All right. Somehow, if you listen to the oracle's advice, you are accepting a demon contract.
Yeah, because this is all the power of like an actual like vagrant's prophet type person, but also the demons coming in there. So when they sit down to do like the tarot card reading or whatever, as far as demon law is concerned or whatever, that is accepting the agreement before you even know what it's about.
The prophet says something cryptic that ultimately means, do you accept relinquishing your body to a demon?
Yeah. Do you accept the fate that the cards hold? Yes. Now you are a fool.
Oh, and then what can happen is over time, the top level officials are slowly being
Yeah, because they went here.
possessed.
Yeah,
Okay.
so like viziers and stuff, they were going to the prophet for like, oh, I hear you're giving out good prophecies this time of year.
Yeah, well, I mean,
You,
your
you're giving out.
prophecies are coming true. How can I find a good husband for my eldest son?
You must go to the top of the mountain and conquer all you see. I mean, okay.
Holy shit! There is a frost giant. Frost giant.
But yeah, so that's actually really, really cool. So that's the reason like the big war started off, what started all the original strife, is that all these viziers were slowly
Alright,
getting possessed by
So
demons.
just to check, you are in Arc 2. You are handling the Leper Prince issue in one country, and then in Arc 3, you're handling the demons in the other country.
Yeah, so maybe that could bring
So essentially, you're
stability.
unifying Germany to fight off what has at this point become a demonic empire.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I like it. We can put some hints about demonic activity into the first 2 arcs, like
Some
holy
foreshadow.
water dealing damage to the agents the enemy sends after you.
Oh yeah. We might want to incorporate a little bit of some sort of established religion, so that maybe the party like they go to a church to like make sure, oh, this is where you go get good potions, cleanse the soul, cleanse the body, etc., etc. Or just this is where all the other states serve their booze, and like someone can't enter in the hallowed ground, or something like that, or like
If you get the person you're protecting to hallowed ground, they'll be safe, and if you do any sort of augury, like that is the answer you'll get.
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
Mention
not-
just
it's-
if you leave them in a church, they are mysteriously not killed.
strange. These churches are really safe. Should try them for other things. You're all immediately attacked by bandits. It's not safe in all respects.
Yeah, but bandits are way easier to kill than demons.
Yeah. I don't know.
So
I'm
then
thinking
the
that
third book is where all subtlety is aborted, and you aren't fighting demonic possessed agents anymore. You're just fighting the hordes of demons they've summoned now that the rest of Germany is unified against them.
oh yeah, so the remember ripping off everybody, right? Motto number
Right.
75. What was it? Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. The caravan has been going around tracing and beating their hooves into the ground to build a giant, pentagram or whatever. Or doing other things at certain locations so that it's
Yeah,
easier
no,
to
I
summon
think
demons.
just having a giant summoning rune being created by a bunch of the workers the king can command. How about entire? All right. So, place that's been infiltrated by demons is well known to be the military power here. It really should have won by now, but for some reason, the king has a bunch of a huge section of his army just held back, digging canals.
Yeah. Oh, so another thing, Prussia, like real Prussia historically, was known for like having just insane discipline among their troops. Sometimes they weren't known for the best technology, not the best like equipment or this, that, other thing, but always the most disciplined was one of the big things. So maybe demons in D&D, they're kind of chaotic. So maybe that's a thing, is that the chaos element at the higher echelons of command have really let the disciplines slack or something like that. That could be an interesting thing to incorporate.
So that's why it's been an even fight, and yeah, all right.
Yeah,
But then once the demonic rune is completed, towards the beginning of book 3, the tides are really turning, and you need to go to the center and kill the alpha demon and break the MacGuffin, and then all will be right with the world again.
yes. And then you'll finally find the parts to rebuild the still.
Oh, also, in the hypothetical 4th book, the war's just continuing because
Because it's Germany.
you don't just stop a war.
Because humans like to fight too.
Yeah, so you get to decide whether you want. Well, think about it, all right? You have everyone but Demon Country unified against Demon Country. Then once the demons are gone, they think, hey, we have the advantage now. Let's just conquer them and become a unified state.
Yeah.
Well, you could also have like demon holdouts who
they're
were
a
either there
problem.
before the summoning circle was completed.
Or they just became demon worshippers at some point.
Yeah.
All right. So how do we work ridiculously subtle foreshadowing into the initial encounter with the kobold? Because I remember to bring up Full Metal Alchemist
If
again.
anyone speaks Draconic, they hear the kobold grumbling about being forced out of his home by the stench of sulfur.
Yeah, all right. Hate brimstone. There's no brimstone here, though. It's nice and clean, except for the bodies.
It's all holy, but I guess I can deal. A little celestial forcey, but YOLO.
Then he died, for he is a kobold. The kobolds die.
That's basically what they do. Oh, also one of the city-states you should be dealing with needs to be a kobold home.
Well, the kobolds are
One of
just
the
everywhere.
little ones to the north.
No, that's if you're doing well and they got good intelligence because you're doing well.
Oh my god, there's actually a reason to incorporate kobolds for once. I totally forgot. Kobolds are a Germanic, fairy creature.
Oh, one of the neighboring city-states. It's not in a cardinal direction. It's just beneath Freisau.
Yeah, Freisau.
Head down and recruit the under-Germans.
Yeah. The Unterdeutsch. That it's German for under German. But that could be interesting. Or they could just be generally around, and maybe they could be a decent source of information because it's an Easter egg productions game. So obviously we have to incorporate kobolds somehow.
That's true. All right, so kobolds aren't one big unified state, but they have lots of tribes, and if you take the time to befriend them, you get a bunch of information you wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah, so that could be I can't think of another game.
They can dig you a much easier way into the center of demon country.
Yeah, they could be related to area secrets. Like if we were to for a moment think about the story for another game, there would be you would go somewhere and so Tingle in freaking Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask. You go to him, you give him some money, and he gives you a player map or an area map. Kobolds not the same. You find them, you do some super simple befriend them quest, and they show you some a secret areas, give you some hints, and show you a shortcut or something.
Yeah, and at some point, when you're dealing with the prince, he wants to, I don't know, build a base in this area kobolds are living, and if you suggest that he moves it, that gets you brownie points with the kobolds.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I would add on to that is make it so that you kind of have to go out of your way to find them.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. You have to actually put effort into exploring, and once you know the kobolds exist, we can count on the player to actually seek them out. But other than that, they just need to be the sort who would pry into odd occurrences.
Yeah, that's the bonus you get for spending the day outside instead of in the tavern.
Yeah, or listening to tavern rumors and going to investigate the thing you hear about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've now extended your kobold intelligence network, just as planned.
So at some point you need to encounter demon-possessed kobolds, and they just...
My God, it's almost as strong as a child!
No, when demons possess kobolds, it's the demon who gets corrupted. So they try to avoid it. They just become a normal kobold.
No!
We just have to dig!
Everywhere! Dirt, everywhere dirt. Straight to the core.
The only difference is the kobold's traps become more malicious.
Yeah, they
gain an acid breath attack.
Yeah, they do +1 infernal damage or something.
Yeah, but otherwise basically the same.
And -1 celestial. So that heals you a little bit? Yeah, but it hurts.
In the shittiest way possible.
Alright.
Yeah, itching that you can't scratch. That's what it's like to get hit by Celestial.
Oh, God. No. That's terrible. Take back your words. Alright, so I think we've got something pretty nice here. And we even have an end game. So we brought up last episode that, we always have to have an ending in sight. We said, hypothetical book 4, but, whatever.
Yeah, well, that's a bonus.
The first 3 sell well.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's when we make it in just a slice of life anime. And then cash in hard.
Or at the very least, if you guys really like the setting, you can continue it in this way.
No, it's Conquering France. Yeah.
Well, it's at the very end of all the Kingmaker books, there's a suggestion of what would happen next if you want to continue the campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah. The player characters become gods and ascend.
Well, it was the country that was sponsoring you all along decides to annex you, and then you can either... Well, you would probably fight a war with them because you're kind of badasses at that point.
Yeah. Stuff like that.
So it would be like this, if if you want the campaign to continue, or if the players want to use the enormous army they've amassed and the political connections, then this war probably didn't end.
Yeah, it could be like instead of being its own book, it would be like a chapter or a couple chapters at the very end of the last book.
Or
Yeah.
just a couple pages describing the scenario and giving advice to the GM. At this point, we can guide you no further.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these are the directions the story could go.
It's all up to you now.
We hope you've learned enough from us that you can carry on your own.
All right. Let's see. What else do we need? We got a general idea. It's pretty good. I'm not going to say it's my best because it's clearly not. I mean, my idea is amazing. This one, it's okay. It's okay. What else do we need to like finalize it to make it into a true module?
Well, I mean, other than adding all of the setting areas, we probably need to describe the specific challenges around getting the leper prints installed. I mean, it doesn't take a huge leap of imagination to see where Book 3 will go. You do a Fellowship of the Ring style walk for a long time, fighting demons occasionally till you get to the center, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Book 2 is a little more ambiguous. What sort of combat challenges do you face? What kind of MacGuffins do you need to gather to get the
Yeah. All right. So
Man in the Iron Mask cured? Or installed as king?
all right. So I think this is actually a good point to discuss how we can incorporate a little bit more of the time setting into the game. So the how do we make the normal D6 second edition D&D feel a little bit more swashbuckling, make it a little bit more Three Musketeers as opposed to the heavy armor running around? Yeah, I know it's pretty confusing because that's just not what it's set up for. But like all the tools are there. I believe in some of the splat books they had for second edition, they had, like an actual like musketeer class or something, like the fencer or something, because they just were full of those little different classes. So, got to take some emphasis off the heavy armor somehow, and then of course, imagine some way that one could conceivably grab a rope, cut it, and then fly into the air because a chandelier fell.
Well, that's
Yeah.
just the simple acrobatics check.
Yeah, no, but adding special like classes and like race differences could go in a way like that.
What if to de-incentivize heavy armor, we give muskets an armor-piercing effect for one thing, so you don't want to wear tons of it because it just you down per.
If I recall, in second edition, the arquebus and musket and other firearms like that just completely bypassed all armor.
Okay, so they're common enough that you're going to run into them now and then. And another thing is we put a big emphasis on travel time. You don't want to wear a bunch of heavy armor because you need to go fast.
Yeah.
We have conditions described in a module for how long it takes the party to get there, and the longer it takes them to get there, the bigger challenge they have to face.
All right.
Yeah.
I think we got something good here.
But still, we haven't described the leper prince scenario at all.
Man, you just find some dude. Well, okay. So first you would need to figure out what he sounds like. Like to do a callback to a Shadowrun, you would get an audio sample of his voice, but so you're gonna have to have somebody who has good hearing.
So basically, this is where a bard could come in real handy.
Ooh, yeah, like the bard
So
could.
you have to meet him.
Yeah, you have to meet him.
Or get a spy in right next to him.
Right. So little.
Yeah, so you'd either need like a bard to memorize the way his voice sounds, or you could have like a wizard or someone else who can like give him a MacGuffin to record the voice.
I do have another suggestion, actually.
All right.
What if, evil option is find a guy to impersonate the prince. Good guy option is get him on your side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what if you find you either go out to find a miraculous healing tonic, or find, a Renaissance era physician who can cure his leprosy.
Maybe that could lead you somewhere near the vagrants.
Or there could be a doctor who is rumored to be able to, who's working on a cure for leprosy in a different country. And so you
Yeah.
have to leave
Go to the
the
Middle East.
general
Yeah,
area for a
medicine.
while.
All right, so that's good. But
So
I've thought of a couple little hooks that could get you like in with the prince because you're still just random schmoes essentially.
the migrant cleric order might have rumored healing powers.
Yeah. So here's what I'm thinking. The leper prince, ugly face, leprosy, etc., beautiful voice. So people know the voice. So this would be bring it up in the mind of the players. Like, oh, he's known for his voice, etc. He's a great singer. And if you have a bard or someone else who's trained in singing, you can like pretend to be a traveling band and be like, oh, hey, yes, we heard you love to sing and we would love to play with you. And so that would be, if you're evil, an option to hear his voice and talk about him, and if you're good, an option to like actually chat with him and get on his good side.
And if you don't have a singer, you could, well, we could have someone go out of their way to contact the party and like, hey, I'm a bard and I want to meet with the prince, but I don't know.
Yeah, so
You
it's
have
like
a reputation now as you're guarding the diplomat, right? Can I join you guys?
and maybe he'll hear me sing, and then he can, I don't know, he'll have me play at his court or something.
Or at a significant penalty, you could try and listen to one of his public speeches.
Yeah.
If he has any.
Well, if his voice is well known enough that it's a problem that people won't recognize it, then yeah, he probably speaks in public a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Especially if he's beloved.
So beloved. Guys, you don't even know how beloved this guy is. Like, he's a leper. Still sleeps with everybody's wives.
He's a leper, but people are pretty okay with lepers now just because of him.
Yeah. He's really done wonders for the leper community. Like, they're not allowed in the city still, but I mean, why would they be? That's just crazy.
Well, now they're escorted out instead of being, thrown out.
It's true. You ever think maybe we're terrible people?
I don't think it.
Okay. Well, good enough for me. All right. So that was cool. I think we have a couple like little seed ideas for the leper prince. I like it. So let's recap what we got here. So we got little super simple. You're an adventurer tavern. Go clear out this cave thing.
Training Wheels Dungeon.
Yeah, Training Wheels Dungeon. Some stuff that like someone with power will sway you to do with riches or, whatever.
Offering to pay you and not have you beaten.
Yeah, or exiling you from the country. So
Carrot and stick.
Bunch of options there to go and to go out and adventure to some of the smaller states.
Yeah, go and do a couple of missions in other countries, and your objectives will vary depending on your performance in earlier missions.
Yeah, and then you go on to the larger countries for the middle act and try and solve their problems, figure out why all this strife is starting up and what you can do to stop it, because you've kind of figured things out now.
Start getting
well.
more overt demon plot hooks for book 3 and try and install a more capable ruler who is sympathetic to Freisau's plight.
Yeah, so maybe to make it a little bit more urgent for the Leper Prince, which is honestly kind of becoming one of the cooler aspects here. The father doesn't trust his son. Maybe his father just hates leprosy for some reason, but for some reason couldn't disown this son.
We could do a classic. The father only has one child, but the mother died in childbirth, and the father blames the child.
Yeah, and father couldn't conceive any other sons, couldn't conceive any other daughters, stuff like that. But the father, since he doesn't trust his son, only trusts an advisor who is also one of the possessed, who visited the things. So the demons have their hooks mostly in the other country, but one little hook over here, which is the advisor that's the only trusted vizier of the king of not Prussia.
Or he's not even a demon. Maybe he's just trying to take over out of plain old greed and doesn't recognize the urgency of the situation.
Yeah.
Actually, this is a perfectly good opportunity to do a strong demonic plot hook, so never mind.
Yeah. And, it's a module. It's the DM's job to tailor it a little bit to the campaign. I think we got good information here. All right, so that was the middle arc. I think we need a little bit more flavor, a little bit more pizzazz for last arc. Obviously, demons, super awesome, super cool.
Okay. I just had an idea.
All right.
So in order to arm the party a little better against demons, So the printing press was invented in this era, and
Yeah.
someone figures out how to print low-level divine scrolls en masse.
Nice.
So
I
the
like
party
it.
just gets a crate of scrolls with level 1 spells that are useful against demons.
Right. Oh, that should happen. That should be like some side quest, like or like really important beginning quest for like the third arc. Is like, oh yeah, you could do this, blah blah.
Save the first holy printing press.
Yes. You know how much I love incorporating books religiously into
Yeah.
my creations.
All right.
Aurelia, may she rest in peace.
So do you want to make the inventor who made the holy printing press into a tiny mechanic kobold?
Well, no, it'll just be Aurelia. She's got to be in everything.
Not Gutenberg?
Well, no, not Gutenberg. The Gutenberg analog would be Aurelia. She invented books.
I don't know. I mean, I could see Aurelia being a tiny mechanic kobold.
That's Giles.
So Aurelia has an assistant?
Aurelia always has an assistant.
All right, fine. Because I mentioned this because our kobolds are obsessed with books.
That's true. They are. And
so they'd be pretty invested in this whole printing press thing. And I don't know, you hear about it sooner, I guess. If
from your
you
kobolds.
make friends with the kobolds.
I'm so excited.
And if you don't make friends with the kobolds, you hear about it when it's almost too late, and you get there just in time to fight a much bigger, scarier demon.
Yeah. So if you do it earlier, you're like, oh yeah, I've built up this huge stockpile of different scrolls, and so like
and
instead
then when the big scary demon shows up, you're just like, hey, holy smite.
Ow, that stings. Stop it. Ow.
No, we're not going to stop it. We can do this all day.
Guys, please.
We printed 3 more this round.
I just thought of something kind of silly where it's like,
all right.
Yeah, the kobolds adopted the printing press, and so every once in a while you'll just see random sheets of paper in the streets in Draconic.
Yeah, and it like this handwriting is incredible, so it's printed, and like that's your tiny clue. So first clue, tiniest. Second clue, slightly bigger. Third clue, mallet to the face.
Yeah. All right. Reward the party for being perceptive, but don't like ruin the campaign because they weren't.
Yeah. I like it.
Just add a little bit more challenge.
And then so if they unlock the printing,
to take the physical challenge because you failed the mental one.
Yeah. So I'm thinking if you unlock the printing press early, then when like you actually find out and you come back and you realize that you need to weaponize it, you get them, and then they have like a bunch of other utility scrolls and a bunch of other like low level useful stuff that you don't need to concern yourself with anymore. Like, oh, I have a bunch of these level 1 and 2 scrolls, so yeah, go ahead and just take them. You have a good cause and you guys helped me out before. But if you wait till the end, then you have to like spend all your time mass producing the scrolls you'll need.
Yeah, you like say you have 2 days with the printing press before you need to go.
Yeah.
What do you make? As opposed to, yeah, this is what I have. Take what you want and get going right away.
Yeah, all right, I like it. So we've added a little bit of pizzazz to the beginning of the third arc. Now, demons, there's a bunch of demons. Can I just throw them in? There's a demon lord who's trying to conquer there. He's a demon lord. That's what he does.
You just put down a map, have your basic travel difficulties, make sure someone in the party has a survival skill, and otherwise you occasionally get random encounters that are heavily weighted towards demons.
All right, so what special things do you need to do to kill the final demon and like solve the problem for real? Because remember, like in Dragon Age, what you had to do is you had to use the special blood or whatever to eat its soul or something.
If we want to, all right. So we could either double down on the printing press thing, and have you need to like plant a printed sutra on him.
All right.
Or like 100 of them or some number. So you basically have to get close enough to the demon and make repeated touch attacks while surviving being next to a demon lord.
All right, quick idea. So we like having options that aren't all combat related all the time. If you have the demon, do the Alec Trebek thing. If you have him read his name backwards, he just is banished.
Okay, but you'd have to learn his name then.
Yeah, and then you'd have to have it printed and like somehow presented like, oh, check this out, it's so cool. And then I don't know, maybe the demon is in disguise for a moment.
Well, the demon is possessing that oracle still.
Oh yeah. And like have them read him, and then that calls out the demon from the oracle, and like banishes it, weakens it. Then whatever fight the party can handle.
We could say that. I mean, pull it out of the oracle and then fight it. And I don't know, because. Oh, how about this? The holy magic that would allow you to kill it won't work while it's in the oracle because the oracle is still
Holy.
a holy being.
Yeah, all right. I like it. It's still a legit prophet.
Yeah, so you need to exercise it, and then actually, then the oracle can remove its invulnerability.
Yeah, that'd be kick-ass. Maybe the oracle does that, and then she's like reborn, so you get that kind of, oh, that's my last action.
Or yeah, it's like just using this spell that renders the demon mortal killed me, but also reincarnated me because divine spells are weird.
Yes, and then the player character becomes pregnant.
Or the player character just they have to do a 5 bizarre creatures and a baby thing.
Yeah, okay. I like it. So you have to. So one of the options to defeat the demon is to find its true name.
Yeah,
and
we'll
then,
call this easy mode if you are exceptionally good at information gathering.
Yeah, so this is the Sindel Guile mode.
Yeah, if you have the really sneaky party, then find its true name, get it to read it, and beat the shit out of it while it's at its most vulnerable.
Yeah, and so for Thor, because I've been mentioning the goddesses that I made up all those years ago. Some of my goddesses a little bit. There was Aurelia, the goddess of knowledge; Sindel, the goddess of spirit, living, bards essentially, and then Maylene, the goddess of knowledge. It was somewhat based off of the 3 different groups in Fable. There was strength, magic, and then guile and stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's also that kind of breakdown appears all the time, like it happened in Morrowind. And there's kind of the 3 aspects there. So I always kind of think of those 3 aspects when I'm coming up with stuff for games. It's like, hey, someone who just wants to hack and slash, how would they deal with it? Someone who wants to be clever and tricksy, how would they get through the problem? And then somebody who wants to just be the smart wizardly folk, how would they get through the problem? So that leaves options open for all kinds of different play.
Yeah.
So
okay, so hack and slash option, right?
Yeah. Stab the demon.
Is invulnerable, and you need to do something to render it mortal.
All right.
So hack and slash option is this. You beat down the oracle, and then you get a "this isn't even my final form" moment, right?
Yeah, I like it. That totally appeals to all the hack and slash folk.
Yeah. So then, now while it's in its demon form, you need to use the oracle's blood. You need to coat your weapons in it to overcome its invulnerability.
Yeah, because blood is sticky, but it's oracle blood, so it's holy.
Yeah. Also, it is the demon's own blood.
I love how that's fighter logic.
Well, I'd say it's because it's the demon's own blood.
Yeah,
since it was possessing this person for so long.
It's both.
The demon can only be harmed by itself unless you use holy magic to make it not so.
Yeah. All right, I like it.
Then, all right. So guile option is get it to read its name backwards. What's knowledge option?
I don't know, because that definitely kind of overlaps with guile option, but so you need something that wouldn't take guile. So
Sorry.
Oh man, everything's breaking.
Or maybe what you could do is the knowledge. Well, in either case, you could have a MacGuffin that is something that maybe force separates demons from their possessees.
Yeah. So, all right. So with the guile option, it was all about being clever, getting the demon to read his own name backwards, that kind of thing. So with the knowledge option, it has to be somewhat similar because obviously you would need to have found the demon's name. That's a knowledge kind of thinking thing. But
maybe there's another way to use it.
Yeah. So it wouldn't require
summon him out of her.
Ah.
Yeah, all right. So if you're tricky, you can just get it out of the body right away, have the oracle help you.
Yeah, so you could pull was it Hersey in Morrowind? So you fought one of his aspects there. Maybe you could summon out one of his aspects of this demon lord at a time. So you fight him smaller things because assuming this is a knowledge
instead
group.
of one big boss, it's several mini bosses.
Yeah, and then if you're super smart, you could summon them into specific areas that nullify that aspect of it.
Or it could be in a very long summoning sequence. The aspects get pulled out one at a time through this long summoning. And so it's if it gets interrupted, then he's weakened by however many you're able to pull out.
Yeah, and I'm also
until you remove him completely.
I'm going to name this demon Janusk for the moment, because that's what I name giant things that want to be multi-faced.
Yeah, right.
And I don't know.
Oh, so how about the demon's true form is an Ashura?
Maybe. That may be good, but I kind of like Ashura for good reasons.
I don't know. I just think multi-faced demon. You know.
I don't know. Good, could work. I don't know.
All right.
We'll get it in
Whatever.
post.
So, point is, you summon out some number of parts of the demon, and eventually it's so weakened that it is expelled from the cleric's body, and the cleric can just
Oh yeah, like
banish thee back into the realms of whatever.
yeah, you summon off parts of it, like one title at a time. So you learn the demon's like whole name, and then so it's like a royal title, and you just summon off each individual like thing it's been adding onto the end of its name until it's just a quest remaining, and you just crush it.
Or like Alex said, like just the Oracle and whatever her original god was, well, or the god she was supposed to represent, is like, oh, finally I can get rid of this thing, and just squishes it out of her.
Because this is a pretty big deal demon, and that's the only reason it can possess one of the holiest individuals on the planet.
All right, I like it.
And then, like I said, like maybe we could have it to where the ritual caster, if he gets interrupted, then it's like, okay, now you have to actually fight him, but he's weakened by however many you're able to get out.
Quick, beat it off while we fix the runes.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, all right.
Actually, if you have only one real fighter in the party, then having like the entire rest of the party summoning the demon and have the fighter standing in the circle. That would be an incredibly rewarding moment for the fighter.
That would be kick-ass, yeah. All right.
And it could also fall on the fighter to help protect the rest. You know, to keep the summoning
in the
going.
circle.
Yeah, you gotta push in. All that time I spent learning how to do the bull rush maneuver.
No, guys, I need you to summon 3 at the same time. What? Why? Because I invested in Cleave, damn it.
I get a bonus. It's
I get
plus
a bonus when
4.
I'm flanked.
It's plus 4, guys. Whoa. All right. So I think we come up with something good. This I don't know, the not Germany and the Leper Prince. It's a good working title for the moment. Doesn't hint at any of the demons in the end. All right. So that's good. Anybody any closing ideas? Anything?
I don't know. Do you want to, instead of being a leper, maybe the prince could be, oh shit, what's that disease? We wiped it out a few years ago.
Smallpox?
No, the other one.
Big pox?
No, we still have that.
Oh. Yeah, we do. Ebola?
Still have that.
No, we don't have
The only other one I can think of is like polio.
Polio! Yeah. The prince is a cripple.
Yeah, all right.
That could work.
That's how it all the jig is up when you find with the guy you put in charge. Is he just gets up and starts walking someday and forgets to say it's a miracle.
Or, I mean, the reason the king doesn't want the prince to take over is because obviously no one will respect a cripple king.
Yeah, all right. He's weak. No one could take him seriously.
Yeah,
also,
but,
he's
you
my
know,
son, and I hate him. He killed his mother. Died in childbirth. Rah, rah, rah.
it was a thing.
Yeah.
His name should totally be like Ted or Ruse.
Yeah,
All right.
Roosevelt.
Yeah. Or no, not Ted. Franklin.
I hate Frankie. It's a terrible name for a king. Why did I choose it?
Okay. Oh, so more of the Renaissance setting thing.
Yeah.
You get our world's Da Vinci equivalent to build cyber legs for him, or an exoskeleton or something.
Okay.
I don't know. Just tracking down an inventor sounds like it could be an adventure in and of itself.
You get him a giant kick-ass golem body. So he delivers his next address from a giant golem form. I will now lead my
Like
people.
The lower body is an ATST.
Yeah. I will lead my people to crushing victory. Like doing the flexing and posing because he finally can during the middle of his speech.
Stomping to emphasize points.
And I will crush them like I'm crushing the podium now. Truly, my new form is representative of our strength as a nation.
Then, the party's just sitting there. Guys, do you think we created a monster?
Let's go to the other country now.
I think maybe we should side with the demons. This guy seems pretty mad with power.
I think we found the demon. I think we made the demon.
The real monster is having legs.
Okay, well, this has been Kill the Quick, Surrealism, and Thor. And I guess we're no longer sounding bored. Thank you. Have a great weekend.